Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm really glad to see every one of you on this call tonight. And my name is Rhonda Ford, and I get to be your host tonight. I'm excited about that. I'm an occupational therapist, retired, and I've always had a passion for working in various aspects of the medical field. FYI, I have a magic elf running the show for me in the background, and that's Miss Therese. So thank you, Therese. Let's go to the first slide, please. So, tonight we're going to be talking about aging, something that's inevitable in all of our lives, and how we can help our bodies to feel better and look better as we move through these later years. We're also going to be talking about collagen. This is something we all need. And lastly, what is LifeVantage? What this company represents, and why should you be interested? Next slide, please, Therese. Aging happens and chronic disease processes happen, and our once young bodies don't always have what they need to combat everything the environment throws at us. The air we breathe, the food we eat, exercise, sunlight, smoking, pollution, all of these things are what we call free radicals. These free radicals cause us to experience constant low grade stress, and the alarm starts going off in our systems. And in the medical world, we call this oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is linked to over 200 different disease processes, and they can show up as heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, poor sleep, fatigue, anxiety, unexplained weight gain. The list is really endless. Let's take a look at this slide. Up in the left-hand corner, there's a beautiful apple. And when you cut that apple in half and leave it on the counter for several hours, what happens to it? It browns. This is a good example of oxidative stress. It's the same as if you leave metal out in the weather and it rains, and after several months, that metal is going to rust. Let's look down below at the cell. This is a cell, and it's a perfectly healthy cell on the left. But as you look to the far right, what happened? This is a picture of what oxidative stress looks like at the cellular level. Our cells, unfortunately, are actually rusting from the inside out as we age. Next story, or next slide, please, Therese. So, about 8 years ago, I broke my back. We have Siberian Huskies, and one of them unfortunately came up behind me. She didn't look where she was going and knocked me down. And so I had the repair surgery, and everything was going fine. And a couple months down the road, I noticed that I was having it wasn't really deep, sharp pain, but there was an ache. There was a dull, deep ache in my lower back. And sure, I could take aspirin, I could take Tylenol or something like that, but I did not want to use the over the counter products. I just don't think they're good for us. So I would sit down on my couch and rest my back. And what would happen? I would fall asleep. I found this very embarrassing to be taking a nap at 10:30 in the morning. But this is the way life was. And so on I went. Um, Tonight, as we talk about NRF2 activation, NRF2 refers to a pathway we all have. And as we age, it just doesn't work as well as it used to when we were younger. Let's see what Washington State University says. NRF2 is likely the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. NRF2 may become the most extraordinary, therapeutic, and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Wow, that's a powerful statement to make. When we activate this NRF2 pathway, it signals the body to turn on its own internal protection and repair system. Sounds like a good thing. As NRF2 activation does this, it's something that we call flipping the switch. We're flipping the switch on the health of each one of these cells in our bodies. And how does this work? Next slide, please.
So are you going to tell the rest of your story, Rhonda?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Not quite yet. Okay. So let's look at some of these attributes. NRF2 activates what we call survival enzymes. Well, that sounds like a good thing, survival enzymes. So let's look at those. It improves our cellular function. It removes toxins, reduces premature aging, eliminates cells that are beyond repair. It protects against cellular stress. And these are all good things. So going back to my story, I learned and I understood after being introduced to these products that I had oxidative stress in my back. After I started taking the Protandim NRF2, and it took a few months, but one day I thought about it and I realized I was no longer sitting down to rest my back. That dull, aching, verging on pain was just gone. And so I wasn't sitting down. I wasn't taking naps anymore. And that was good for me because I have a lot to do. I'm very active, and I have too much to do to take a nap every day. So anyway, next slide, please, Therese.
Do you mind sharing your age, Rhonda?
I'm 80 years old and not quite 80. I will be 80 in June. And we have 2 dogs. We have a cat. We have a garden. We have a greenhouse. I have a husband that is employed still. We have grandkids next door. So my days are busy and I love it. I say there's not one day that I am home all day of the week. There's not one day I'm busy, but I enjoy it because it's a good quality of life and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
And how many chickens?
We have 18 girls right now, and they lay brown, white, blue, and green eggs. They're just lovely. So I could tell you a lot about raising chickens, but that will be at another time. So
Our next Zoom event.
Our next Zoom, as chicken Zoom event. Yeah, you guys can learn a lot following us. So, okay, I love this. So here's another thing about taking Protandim NRF2 and activating that pathway. It also increases glutathione by 300% in 120 days. How many of you know what the benefits of glutathione are? Glutathione lives in every single cell in our body. And besides strengthening our immune system, it helps detoxify the liver. It improves our mental focus. And as it raises our immunity, think about all the viruses that go around, all the sicknesses, I don't know if you have it in Indiana. I'm sure that you do. I'm sure it's everywhere. But this time of year, kind of in the springtime, there's all kinds of things that hit our bodies, all kinds of bacterial infections. And so, what if your immunity was strong and up there at a high level and you wouldn't be affected so easily by all of these different things? Okay, next slide, please, Therese. Let's take a deeper look at this Protandim NRF2. How is it made up and what does it do? Instead of taking antioxidants by supplements, taking Protandim NRF2 helps your body to produce more of its own antioxidants. And it does this naturally. I love that. Which would you rather do? Take a synthetic to build antioxidants or help your body to make more of its own and do it naturally with taking the Protandim? I like to think we're practicing prevention rather than putting a band-aid on after the fact. Protandim decreases this oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. That's a pretty powerful statement to make. And the company has the research behind the product to prove this. There are over 20 peer-reviewed studies on the product, research that's been done outside of our company, not just from within our company, building ourselves up, so to speak. There are 5 ingredients that make up this product. So let's look at those ingredients. There's turmeric, milk thistle, green tea extract, bacopa, and ashwagandha. And you can think, well, I take turmeric and I drink my green tea. And so you think you're doing good and that's a good start. There's nothing wrong with that. However, in order to build up the level of antioxidants that your body needs, it's the synergy of these 5 ingredients working together that activate this NRF2 pathway. And what I found with the Protandim is not only do I have more energy, my sleep is incredible. I get that deep REM sleep at night, and that is so healing, you guys. It's just that our bodies need that. It helps turn down that internal fire we call inflammation, and I know that to be very true. And I've seen it help so many others in this category. So I think that's about all I need to say on the Protandim right now. So do we have Diane on?
I'm here.
All right. We have Diane Leith, and Diane is a retired nurse as well. And she's going to share information about our liquid collagen product with us. Thank you, Diane.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rhonda. I think we all understand the benefits of collagen, right? We go to big box stores and buy tubs of the powdered collagen to help with our joints, our skin, our hair, our nails. We've been taking it for years, right? But did you know that this powdered collagen is only absorbed 10 to 15% by our bodies? So think about how much is just wasted that we're throwing down, not necessarily the drain, but sort of the drain as we excrete it out, the byproducts of it. It also only has like 1 to 2 types of collagen. And there are many types of collagen, and they all affect different parts of our body or different functions in our body. So our True Science liquid collagen is 90% absorbed, and we have 10 types of collagen. So we are getting more of what our body needs by taking our liquid collagen than we do with the powder. Supplementing short term with the powder, we have a uniqueness to our collagen in that it is an activator, just like the NRF2. It activates our cells to produce more collagen, making its own collagen. And so we're not only supplementing collagen with the use of our liquid, but we're actually making or having our cells make more collagen. And so that to me is just really exciting. So this chart was really an eye opener for me. It shows how much we lose in our collagen as we age. If you look at by age 20, we're starting to lose collagen. By the time we're 50, we're feeling the effects of it. Wrinkled skin, arthritis, diseases. And I'm 71, almost 72 here in a couple of months. And I only have 30% of the collagen. I've had 2 knee replacements. What if we had had this 40 years ago and I could have started taking it? So those of you who are listening and are younger, pay attention. This can be a game changer for us. Next slide, please. So what's going on inside our bodies? Every organ, our brain, our heart, our gut, has collagen, every organ. 30% of our protein is collagen. So what this slide is showing is a person who's been started taking our liquid collagen, and this shows the density in that person's cell that they took. At week 0, they were at 30 point collagen density. And as you can see, very little yellow in there, which means a high density. A lot of black, a lot of green. By week 4 of taking the liquid collagen, they're up to 57.5. And you can see how the yellow is spreading. Less green, less black for sure. And by 8 weeks, that collagen density has gone up 38 points. That's phenomenal. So if you're taking this every day for several months, you're going to show some, hopefully, show some decreasing in your mobility and stuff. And I'd like to share a story with you, so we can just stay on this slide if you would, Therese. My friend is Gary, and I met him on a train trip that we were both on, but different. I met him on that train trip. This is last summer. And as we talked about travel, he started telling me about all of his health issues, previous injuries that he's had. And because I'm a nurse, that's kind of what people do. And as we're old, we talk about our injuries. I had the 2 knee replacements that I mentioned. And so I shared with him what I was learning about reducing oxidative stress, decreasing joint pain, decreasing inflammation, and increasing energy. He was interested, but he was going all the way across country. So when he got back from his trip, he contacted me, and he was depressed, unable to do the things that he loved to do. He was really wanted to get on these products and give them a try. He's tried drugs, various treatments, and with no results at all over many years. So I started him on the NRF2, the collagen, and then a couple of our other products. And by the 3rd day, he texted me and said his neck that has been basically inflexible since the 1970s because of an accident, he had increased flexibility in that. And that just really surprised me. Day 3. About a month later, he contacted me. His joint pain was less. He had increased flexibility in more of his joints and other parts of his body, increased energy. And after 5 months, he was back to bicycling regularly, doing heavy yard work, and his great love of playing musical instruments that he hadn't been able to do for a long time. He plays drums a lot, and he was able to do that now after 5 months. So it's just astounding. He was ecstatic. I was ecstatic. He had his life back. Next slide, please. So, borrowing Rod Stewart's song, every picture tells a story, don't it? Well, just look at this lady. Look at her complexion. Her spots are gone. She's glowing. The bags under her eyes are decreased. She has more more definition in her cheeks, more color. And just what a beautiful smile she's got. I mean, just she looks absolutely gorgeous. So I want to be like that. Next slide, please. This is Betty. I saw her at our last conference in October, but only from a distance. But Teresa's met her. And oh my gosh, look at the difference in her from day 1 to 5 months, although it says 1 year results. So I'm not quite sure when exactly this was, but it doesn't really matter.
It's 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
The bags under her eyes are virtually gone. Again, just a glowing complexion, and her neck. She doesn't have that saggy, I'll call it chicken neck anymore, because that's what it looks like there on the far left, and just truly amazing. And so next slide, please. And so our skin is the largest organ in our body. I never really knew that until I became a burn nurse back in the 1980s. And it is so prone to infection. We really need to protect it. But if you look at this gentleman's arm on the left, this could be my husband. And he's 10 years younger than this guy. The purpura is what all that purple spotting is called. And it's very, very thin, paper thin skin. And if you just bump it on a counter, you bleed and bruises. And just look at 24 days out, how much plumper his arm looks. It's not so thin, and it's got more tissue, it looks like. And the purple is dissipating. And you look at 45 days, that's just kind of the scarring that occurs, just the brownness of the skin there. But just what a remarkable difference that has made just taking the collagen. Next slide, please. And those who struggle with cellulite, I never knew that this was a lack of oxygen, lack of collagen in your body. And so what if we could decrease the amount of that? And this is, I think, one of our consultants in National, her legs that she was brave enough to take pictures of. Next slide, please. So what's inside? So Rhonda talked about the NRF2 and the benefits of that. And I talked about the collagen and the activation of our cells through the collagen. And what the company has done, these are very popular products. So they bundled these two together and makes it less expensive. So it's going to save you money if you bundle these two together, and you're getting just a powerhouse of activating these cells. Next slide, please. So again, just kind of a recap of what are the benefits of both of these together. Decrease oxidative stress with NRF2 activation in both of these products. So you're kind of doubling down. um, activating ourselves to make more antioxidants, more collagen. So that's always in our bodies. We're not just supplementing with things that just, in essence, go down the toilet. We're activating ourselves to do what God created them to do. And then they help repair and rejuvenate ourselves through the NRF2 activation. So thank you, Rhonda. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Diane. That was really good information on collagen. I think we all learned a lot. And now I'm going to turn it over to Farron Barbado, who's also on our team. Farron's going to talk a little bit about the business aspect of LifeVantage. Thank you, Farron.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Rhonda. So LifeVantage, first of all, what is this company? Where they come from? And what can they do for you? First of all, I want to let you know that LifeVantage is located here in the United States, locally here to me in Utah. It's a US-based company. It's a debt-free company. It's a publicly traded company, which makes it very, very awesome to me, because then that means we cannot hide anything. We are transparent. We have to share what our company makes, where we're at. Being debt-free is another amazing thing. There's not a whole lot of companies out there that can say that they are debt-free. We went debt-free during COVID, so that was a real big thing to me, because I had just recently became a consultant with LifeVantage at that time. So to hear that they were debt-free during COVID was amazing. We also, just a few years ago, came up with an amazing compensation plan called our Involved Plan, which has been working remarkably well for everyone. And it was reviewed and studied, of course, before they put it out there, because LifeVantage makes sure that everything that they do checks every box that LifeVantage is trying to please everyone, do for everyone. And they are out looking out for all their consultants. It's not just about the higher ups in the company. It's about all of us. So why did I become part of LifeVantage? Next slide, please. The problem. So the problem, as we get older and we get closer to the retirement age, I knew that the retirement age for a lot of people is 70. Even at 70, if you live just on Social Security alone, I don't know how people do it. It's just crazy. But my husband wanted me to retire at 62, and I didn't know what I was going to do retiring at 62 and start taking Social Security. And if I looked at that first check I got and said, boy, if this was what I had to depend on, it wasn't going to happen. There's no way I could even put a roof over my head. So as I started to wind down and go into part-time and then gradually retire from working a full-time job, I knew I wanted something. I wanted something, first of all, that was going to keep me busy. I wanted something that I could have hands-on with, and I wanted something where I could earn some extra income. Housing is crazy. Fortunate enough that we built our home. We got a very good interest rate when we did that. And today, people struggle. I don't even know how kids, I say kids, I'm talking 20s, 30s, and even 40-year-olds, can even afford to buy a home these days. If they don't already own a home, I don't foresee that happening anywhere in the near future, unless somehow or another they got miracles working for them. Food. The cost of food up 33%. I honestly think it's much more than that. Me and my husband were just talking about that the other day. I went to the store just literally to pick up a few things, not even anything for dinner, no meat, just some staples that we needed, something to go with whatever we were making for dinner, and spent $70. I came home with one little bag in my hand, set it down on the counter. He had it put away in like 2 minutes. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. That was $70 worth of food. Insurance, our homeowners insurance premium we just got in January, our car insurance premium we got in January, and both of them were just like, oh my gosh, we just got our property tax bill, another one, up, up, up. Credit card balances, if most people, they depend on credit cards in order to get through month to month. And then what do you do? At 29% interest rate on a lot of credit cards. The biggest, most important thing to me about why I wanted to be part of LifeVantage and be a consultant was because chronic disease is an all-time high. My husband was diagnosed with BRCA gene carrier breast cancer. I was on blood pressure medication, PTSD, depression. I had acid reflux. I had trouble sleeping, so I was taking Xanax to help me sleep. My counter was starting to look like my mom's, and that wasn't going to happen. So I knew that if I didn't do something, I was going to be in that criteria. So when I started taking these products, slowly but surely, those bottles on my counter were disappearing with life and becoming LifeVantage bottles. I know a lot of people that work, two people, both husband and wife, working, making a six-figure income, well over a six-figure income, and still living paycheck to paycheck. Vacations, those just are far and few between for so many people anymore because they literally are just trying to survive. Are you feeling the pinch? I know I was, and I know that with the benefits from LifeVantage, I have at least been able to breathe a little bit better, feel a lot better, and on the way to my healthy wellness journey. Next slide, please. So why did I choose LifeVantage as a consultant? Well, I started off with LifeVantage as a customer. For the first 6 months, I tried their skincare. I tried their NRF2, NRF1, their probiotic. The list goes on. Little by little, the collagen was introduced. I tried it. Then we came into a weight loss, which was GLP-1. I tried it. The wonderful thing about being a consultant with LifeVantage, my first and foremost thing is I wanted to make sure I continue taking these products no matter what my financial crises were. And as long as I knew that I could make the money doing this small business, doing this side gig, whatever you want to call it, from my phone, from my laptop, I knew as long as I could pay for my products, that was my goal. That was my happy point. And then I learned more. I learned I could actually make money. I could actually put some aside, do some things with my grandkids. I could put some aside, maybe try and start planning some vacations. The biggest thing is I could improve my health and my wealth, not just for me, but for my friends and family. When my friends tell me that they got their this or they've got that, I can't help or resist in telling them what I take. And when I tell them that I'm going to be 66 years old this year, I have some friends that are a lot younger than me that turn around and go, that is impossible. But it is. Anyway, so back to the business part of this. It is wonderful. We have a wonderful team. We work together, as you see tonight, doing this presentation. We've got a team here that's worked together to put this presentation together for you, to explain from inflammation to better sleep, to collagen, to better skin, to healthy you. And I just want to share that with you, that if that's all that you're looking for here this evening is to get healthier, you've come to the right place. But at the same time, if you're looking for a way to grow some extra income, to maybe just set aside some extra income for a little something extra for you, this is the right place. We can set up a plan for you and we can help you have a better life. Next slide, please. Are you in a financial tug of war? Recruit a team and win. This works out wonderfully whenever you share it with someone and they want to be on that same train with you, going on those trips with you and enjoying life with you, hiking with you, going out to dinner with you, and knowing that you can just work the business wherever you are. I can go out to dinner and just next thing you know, I've got a waitress telling me she's got carpal tunnel and I'm sharing the business with her. It's easy to do. And then if you've got a teammate with you, it works even better because then you've got your third-party validation going on. And everybody that takes these products, if you want to learn something important tonight, you need to learn that this business is wonderful along with taking the products. So look at the business side of it as well. Next slide, please. Time for action. I'm going to turn this over back to Rhonda. And Rhonda, if you want to share the next guest with us.
Thank you, Farron. That was awesome. Appreciate your perspective on the business end of our company. Well, that ends our presentation for tonight. If Therese has time, I think she will linger a little bit and we'll open it up for questions. If she has to go, I still want you guys to stay. And if you have a question, we will do our best to get it answered. We've all been doing this business for a while. So, and if we don't have an answer, we will get it for you. So, Therese, I'll see where you're at time-wise.
So I just want to say one thing real quick. When we say time for action, you have basically three choices to make. You can say, wow, this sounds really good. I'm not sure. I want to do a little more research. That's totally fine. All of us did research. We wanted more information. We have a great group on Facebook. It's private. And whoever invited you to watch this video, we can get you on that activating group and help you to learn more about these products. You can go to YouTube and search any of these things. There's lots of really good videos about our products. You might be looking at these products and going, oh my gosh, I need this collagen. I need to get activated. And we love our customers. You don't have to be a consultant if you don't want. That's fine. We love our customers. And of course, the third choice is to go all in and say, I am ready. I want to not only increase my health, but also increase my wealth. And so then we'll show you what you need to do to become a consultant. The beauty of this company is it's very low cost entry, very low cost entry, not like most other side gigs that you can do out there. So it's definitely worth getting a little bit more information. If, as we were talking tonight, if you were thinking, wow, I have this friend that I need to tell about this. My sister and my brother. And, if your mind was thinking that way tonight, talk to the person that invited you and we can go over some options with you. So, and I just want to thank you for taking the time and connect with the person that invited you. So I'm going to stop our recording now. Maybe. Where did it go? There it is. Oh my goodness. It's just not letting me. So, Marcia or anyone, while we're still recording, we'll just say, do you have any questions right now?
Yes, I just wondered, is the collagen supplement a liquid that you take by mouth, or is it a liquid that you